Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and I've got something interesting to look at today. I have not read this article yet, but from the headline alone, this is what needs to start happening within this industry to fix things and to get rid of DEI. I was going to say DUI. That's bad too. But let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. All right, so from thatparkplace.com, Square Enix shareholder questions company about Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement. So the shareholders, these are the guys buying the stock in the company. These are the guys that are expecting quarterly dividends and for the stock to go up and not down. And if the shareholders start questioning these things and start putting pressure on the executives at Square Enix, well, that could have some repercussions that might cost people jobs and hopefully shut down companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and get them just completely destroyed so that they can't spread their cancer to another video game. Let's read the story a little bit here. Kind of funny this. So, Forspoken, this came out 2023. I think it was January or February. It was real early in the year. And it came out like a loaded baby's diaper falling out of a diaper bag. I mean, it was just awful. It stank to high heaven. The dialogue was some of the cringiest, worst dialogue I ever saw. The world itself was kind of barren and bleak. The character was one of the most unlikable characters I've ever come across. I never played the game, but from the previews and the gameplay I saw and all that, it just had zero appeal to me. Now, when I first heard about it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. It's got, a cool vibe to it. I like the way that she traversed around the world. Kind of looked like skater vibes, surfer vibes, whatever, snowboarding, but using magic. It was kind of neat, But yeah, as we got closer to the release date, it just, I never pre-ordered it, thank God. And I would have had to cancel the pre-order had I pre-ordered it. But yeah, it just looked worse and worse and worse. But let's talk about this a little bit. If you're unfamiliar with Sweet Baby Inc., which if you're watching my channel, you shouldn't be, the company's mission is to inject woke ideology in the form of inclusion and representation into the video game industry. The company's CEO, Kim Belair, has also encouraged individuals to terrify developers and executives in order to obtain her company's mission objectives. She said that you go to the marketing teams and cause them angst, strike terror in their hearts that if they don't go along with what Sweet Baby Inc. wants to do, then they're going to suffer. And if you look at recent, what the articles IGN was writing recently, crapping all over that Wukong, was it Black, whatever, that new game coming out, that new Souls-like from China, and the company refused to bow to the Sweet Baby Inc. and give them $7 million to, get their stamp of approval or whatever. So IGN started writing hit pieces on them. It feels like there's a coordinated effort to extort money from all these developers, and that journalists are working in conjunction with Sweet Baby Inc. and Kim Belair in particular, who said, terrorize them. This is what she was pointing at. So it really feels like these guys are working together to steal money from developers and to bloat these huge budgets even more for their worthless input. In fact, their input is not worthless. It actually devalues the product when it's in there. But let's move on. During a presentation at the Game Developers Conference in 2019, Belair detailed, if you're creative working in AAA, which I did for many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups, and if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. Because they have to consider, I say that out loud as a joke, but it's actually very, very true, because if you start to consider the people who are player and audience facing, and you have to deal with mitigating harm and with keeping the sentiment around their game and their project positive, there's like a genuine value that you can impress upon them both ethically and financially. You could say this is important, she said. Belair went on to state, it's also a valid discussion to have, because if you're working with a thin narrative budget and you work in AAA, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised or dismayed by the amount of money that marketing can give you. I'll tell you what, The $7 million these guys are giving to Sweet Baby Inc. is some of the best marketing I've ever seen, because it's probably saved well over 1 million people $70 a pop on a game. So, that's tenfold in savings for the consumer, for the players, the gamers. Not good for the company, because it's probably costing them 10 times that amount in sales, if not more. But hey, whatever, man, whatever floats your boat. It's such an idiotic thing to keep pushing here. And, it's coming to a head, and this is going to be good. This pushback from shareholders, this is what needs to happen. Blair also made it clear that she has an animus against white gamers, describing them as picky babies. She said, I think in our industry, and in so many creative industries, if you want to look at film and television and any art form, we start treating our core demographics as a fixed and static value, something that does not want to change or something that's locked in place. So despite the challenging face of audiences, despite the changing face of audiences, despite the changing face of conferences like this one, we still look at our core demographics and say, okay, they're white, cis, hetero males. That means normal dudes. And we cater almost exclusively to them. And the problem is that we don't just cater to them. Here's something that we think you'll enjoy. We cater to them like a picky baby. Well, I hate to tell you this, bitch, but you should be catering to us, because we're the ones that pay the bills. I mean, we're your main audience now. God damn. These people are so stupid. She elaborated, we feed them the same thing that we know they love, and we keep on feeding it. We're like, here you go. You know you love it. Eat this, eat this, eat this. So that when you get to anything else that they react as a picky baby would, which would be like, oh, no, thank you. I don't want this. We've actually done this so long that what we're doing is creating an entire nation of picky babies, and they made us scared to deviate from what we actually want to do, just in case these picky babies don't want to play our games. So you could have had this discussion, Kim, without referring to white males as picky babies, because we're not picky babies. We are a customer that likes a certain thing. We play video games for a certain reason. We don't play games to get preached to. We don't play games to experience gay love or to know what it's like to be an oppressed black woman. No, we play games to have fun, okay? We want to have fun. I don't care what color, what gender, whatever the hero is, as long as the game's fun and it's not preaching to me and not trying to beat me over the head with some kind of message, we're going to enjoy it for the most part, I mean, time to time, things slip up and all that. But what you guys talk about all the time, and this is what really cracks me up, and this is the narcissism of people like Kim Blair who believe in identity politics, is they believe that they have to see themselves in every game. I don't have to see myself in a game. I can just play a game and enjoy it for what it is. If I'm playing I'm playing a game right now as a Scottish. I work on an oil rig in 1975 in Scotland. And I don't identify as a Scottish oil worker. But I'm enjoying the game. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with the fact that he's white. You never even see his face or anything. But he's a Scottish man. I'm not a Scottish man. It's just crazy. Yeah, that's what they do. Anyway, she doubled down on this metaphor later in the presentation. Do like to imagine that when we look at white guys, and there's several of you here, I think when we look at you, we say, okay, you can't possibly enjoy this, but I think they want also, and maybe you want also to experience new and different stories. I think we need to step out of this rule that like white men can enjoy fantasy worlds, aliens, sci-fi, monsters, anything so long as it's through a lens that looks exactly like them. And again, Kim, you are projecting your own self onto everyone else. We don't care. Give me a good game. We don't care. That's absolutely the core of it. But now, you've made it so we do care. It used to be like we didn't care. We played Tomb Raider when it came out. We're like, oh, Tomb Raider's cool, this is great. Oh, we're playing as a chick. No big deal. When Metroid came out and Samus came out as a female, we're like, oh, wow, that was crazy. Plot twist. Never thought that, whatever. Nobody protested. Nobody freaked out. Nobody cared. Movies. We've seen strong women in movies, action movies, science fiction movies for years and years. I mean, look at Sigourney Weaver in the Alien franchise. Look at Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. Look at Sarah Connor in the Terminator series, Linda Hamilton. these were strong female characters. They weren't Mary Sue's, like our new characters in all this Star Wars garbage is being thrown out like sludge on a monthly basis. It feels like this just disgusting heap pile of garbage. It just keeps being produced from Disney. It keeps failing worse and worse and worse. I can't wait till the Disney shareholders start speaking up and saying, hey guys, put the brakes on all this crap and let's go back to making some good entertainment. But Kim goes on to say, because if that's the kind of person that we're always going to cater to, you're never going to innovate, you're never going to change things, you're going to keep feeding that picky baby. And we cannot continue to create art under a system that is going to bar innovation for fear of a picky baby throwing a tantrum. A little bit later she said, I think it's pie in the sky thinking to go like, hey, maybe we can invite white dudes to play as other people and experience different things through someone else's eyes. And if they don't like it, we have to start thinking, we're not losing, they're losing. And we're losing because we're going to let them stand in the way of our progress and innovation. In fact, at the end of her presentation, Blair admitted what she's doing is injecting wokeness into the video game industry. None of what we're doing is about ticking boxes or about a veneer of wokeness. We actually have to care about making this stuff. Anyway, given the company's stated objectives, over 400,000 gamers have joined the Steam curator list titled Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, that effectively functions as a boycott list for all games that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on and that are available to purchase on Steam. The curator list has 404,166 followers as of the writing of this article. It is the second largest curators list on Steam. The list has evolved over time to include recommendations of games that do not push wokeness, as well as other games that do push wokeness, but Sweet Baby Inc. has not worked on. It appears at least one Square Enix shareholder was concerned about Square Enix being listed as one of the clients on the consultancy's website. And here it is from their thing there. The shareholder asked during a recent report, I'm personally happy about the shift from quantity to quality. I hope good titles will come out in the future. I'm concerned about the Canadian consulting firm Sweet Baby. Square Enix is listed as a client, but is there actually a transaction there? What kind of transaction is it? Will they continue to do so in the future? Good question. Square Enix president Takashi Kira responded, I would like to refrain from making specific comments about individual clients. As we shift from quantity to quality, providing content that is enjoyable and safe for our customers is also part of what makes a product fun. We do our best as creators. So what does this mean? So this first part about making specific comments, he doesn't want to admit to the relationship with Sweet Baby, and he definitely doesn't want to divulge how much money they spent on Sweet Baby, because I think they were the ones that consulted on that Forspoken abortion that came out and did so poorly. As we shift from quantity to quality, providing content that is enjoyable and safe, we do our best as creators. This lends me to believe that they want to put that behind them and just be like, look, yo, we screwed up big time. I don't want to divulge that information. Please have a little forgiveness moving forward. We're going to fix this ship. We're going to write it. We're going to get on course and we're going to start making money. Can we just let this thing stay in the past and bury it? That's kind of what it feels like he's saying there. But this line of questioning also comes in the wake of Square Enix working with consultancy group Black Girl Gamers on their Forspoken game. Okay, it was Black Girl Gamers, another bottom-dwelling bunch of garbage human beings. Yeah. Forspoken was a massive flop and resulted in Square Enix shutting down the game's developer Luminous Productions and absorbing it into Square Enix. Luminous Production announced it was shuttering in February 2023, roughly a year after Forspoken came out. So Black Girl Gamers, congratulations, you murdered that company. You absolutely devastated them. I thought it was Sweet Baby Inc. involved in there, but it's 6 of one, half dozen of another. There's a bunch of these firms out there, a bunch of these consultancy groups, and they all need to be destroyed, dismantled, and spread to the four winds. Get rid of them completely. Square Enix representative Yosuke Matsuda admitted the game's sales were not good during the company's financial results briefing back in February 2023. He said reviews of Forspoken, which we released on January 24th, have been challenging. However, the game has also received positive feedback on its action features, including its parkour and combat capabilities, so it has yielded results that will lead to improvement of our development capabilities of other games in the future. Next, he discussed the sales. That said, its sales have been lackluster, and while the performance of new titles with February and March release dates will be the ultimate detriment, we see considerable downside risk to our fiscal year 2023 third quarter earnings. What do you make of Square Enix shareholders questioning the company about its business relationship with Sweet Baby Inc.? Good question. I'll tell you what I think. Again, I said it in the beginning. This is exactly what needs to happen. This is good. This is a good start. I hope more and more shareholders with different companies, the ones with Ubisoft, the ones with all these different companies, Warner Brothers, who is just, I don't know what these guys are even doing anymore. I mean, they had a pretty good hit with Hogwarts last year. Then they pulled that just garbage Suicide Squad thing. What was the other thing they announced recently that they're doing? I don't know. But more and more, we just see more and more garbage games come out and fail. Big budget games, they come out, they don't recoup what was spent making them even, or they make barely a profit. Studios shutting down, downsizing, getting absorbed, people losing jobs all over the place. You know who's not losing jobs? The people that should be, and that's the ones that work for Sweet Baby Inc. and Black Girl Gamers. These people are thieves and extortionists, and they should be shut down. Don't forget that. Leave a like on the video if you agree with this kind of stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I will see you guys next time. Until then, peace.